Hey, it's Ellis Dawson here, co-writer, co-director, co-creator, co-showrunner of your new favorite web series, For the Boys, and this is another segment of the Smoke Session. Now, here today I have Chandler Bryant and Lamont Walker, who beautifully play Anthony and Saeed, and we are here to talk about the episode For the Bottom Boys. Now, what I want to say about this episode is, I use this analogy that it's kind of like when you have a sick dog. Go with me here.
Okay.
And the dog has medicine, right? And then like the dog is like, I don't want to take it, so you put it in a treat. And they eat it, and it's good for them, and it's good to them. And that's what this episode is. There is so much bottom shaming that takes place all throughout the gay community, specifically between black gays, that we wanted to have an episode that felt like a balm, that was healing, that was hilarious, and you guys killed this episode. So when you read this episode, what were your first thoughts?
Whew. No, I was actually super excited. We don't talk about bottoming as a community, as a gay community. We don't talk about the work that kind of goes in. And,
it's work.
Okay,
it's work.
And unless you kind of like really know somebody who kind of like, okay, this is what you need to do, you never know. You kind of just like figure it out. You kind of Google search, you kind of, so it's cool to have a show that is willing to go there, take it there, not only educate you, but also give you a little humor in there as well.
Yeah, it was special for me to see because I had never seen anything like this before ever. And for someone who had to like talk to like my peers, my friends to learn how to like what to do when you're bottoming, I think that this is like really special for like young gay black people to see, you know, to kind of like get a little bit of a funny guide to bottoming.
Right, yeah, and at the top of the episode, we see the three friends, and this is the first time I believe that we see them in this space that we ended the first episode, and I think that at its core, that's what this show's about, this brotherhood, this friendship, these three people coming together to help each other out, and of course it's over something as like crazy and funny as bottoming, but it like brings them together, and I think that's so beautiful. We reveal and we learn, and it was very strategic that we have a blouse, a soft top in the mix. And Makai and I talked about this. We thought it was very important to blow up this idea, this binary of like, oh, a person acts a certain way, so they must do this. Yeah. That's very heteronormative. And the idea in this show is that we want to really just blow up that idea. How you act should not dictate what you do in the bedroom. Those two things are not mutually exclusive.
Correct.
So how do you feel about, did you know what a blouse was before?
I didn't know what a blouse was before this episode. So that was true. It's like blouse. Want that on a shirt.
Yeah, I thought it was really important to do that. And then we come and find out that the other two boys are verse. Verses get a bad rap too, and it's very binary. It's like, and if you really think about it, it's kind of misogynistic in a sense, because it's like you're shaming the person who penetrates, which then correlates to women, and that's a bigger topic that we need to talk about in general.
Right.
Any thoughts on that at all?
Other than the fact that like I'm glad that we're talking about it now, no thoughts. I just think that the whole idea of like someone presenting one way so they can only receive love or sex or pleasure in one way, I think that's very, very dated, and I love that we're touching on it now in 2021 because I feel like we're just so like we're moving away from the binary and moving away from like the status quo and what people, you know, would expect from someone who presents this certain way. So I'm just like really glad that we took it in that direction.
Yeah, and then we come to find out that we have an expert, Professor Bottom Butch Queen, in the mix, who gave a hilarious performance. It was, we quite literally couldn't stop laughing in between takes. Like, I'm pretty sure there's us laughing in the feed. What was it like being this big brother, this sexual guru? We kind of had this magic element. You snap your fingers and the lights turn red and it gets all sexy. What was that like for you?
Well, I love the magic. I love magic. I think there's black magic around us at all times.
Right.
So I love that we like took it there. I love that we like you allowed me to like go in that direction. I think that when you're talking about something like as divisive as bottoming, doing it in this cupcake kind of treat that you say, I think it's better to digest. It's funny. It's interesting. Super cool. Yeah, I'm thrilled to have done it. Thank you. Thank you for writing it. You and
Yes.
It's been a dream of mine for a really long time to write an episode that was like just so bold and irreverent and loud and bombastic. Just like I'm using the same word over and over again here. But to my point, like it's really needed. So we have this moment, and it's also, like I said, the heart of the show, the three of y'all together. And then we meet, so the rules are, what are the rules? You can't eat, right? You have to douche.
Yes.
And then you have to use a toy to make sure you're booty water free.
Woo!
Nasty.
Very nice.
See, I didn't know all that. I didn't know all that.
That would have been very valuable to know.
You was asking all of this. You was putting all this stuff in there I didn't know nothing about. Okay?
Right. And then, so Anthony is left to his own devices, and the next day, is a foodie and wants to eat and can't. What was that like? And you were shooting out in the streets. How was it using your surroundings in that time? What was that like for you?
We talk about this all the time. New York City being another character, and I think it's so true because like there was just so much going on in the chaos of New York City and like everyone watching and like the actual people on the street like selling food and different things. Like it was in the restaurants that were around. Like it all aided in like the feeling of like hunger and the feeling of like wanting to like to just eat so bad. Like it was a great like help being in Brooklyn shooting that scene.
Listen, Bottoms, like it's a full commitment. It's a full-time job. And then you go to the office and your birthday's coming up and then Amber gives you pizza and then Isaiah talks to your
bitch. Ambering as always.
And then you're on your way. You've made it, you've evaded all of the food. You make it home, you shut the door, and you get that dreaded text message. Can we reschedule? What? Like, has that ever happened to I Want to Be on Real Life? If you want to go there.
I'm willing to talk around anything out there.
Oh my goodness. Man, this has been really, really fun.
Yes.
Thank you guys for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
Tune in next week for another episode of For the Boys. Monday nights exclusively on Slate TV. See you there. Bye.